guys, it's Garvin from FTW with another vlog, and we're once again driving. I'm on my way home from the day job, and just kind of wanted to walk through or talk through some things that's been on my mind for the last couple of months, really the last 5 months. And that is the future of FansTalkWrestlingcom. So, if you're not familiar with the site, it was a second site that we had started. Basically, we took all the blog posts that were on FTWpodcast.com and we moved them to their own domain so that it wasn't so heavy-handed that it was podcast related, because I at the time I thought it handcuffed what we were doing, and it was going to be it was going to restrict the amount of people that we would be able to reach, kind of thing. So if you're looking for wrestling news and opinions but don't really like podcasts, why would you go to a website, the FTWpodcast.com, to get your wrestling news or your wrestling blog or whatever? So FansTalkWrestlingcom, was gonna, it was gonna replace that, but it was also gonna open up the door to really have a centralized location for everyone that we talk to, whether it's everyone on Facebook or everyone who watches the podcast on YouTube, or we've got the Google Plus community, and plus everyone on Twitter. We wanted like a centralized location that we could have everyone from all of those different groups come together to talk wrestling. Fans talk wrestling. So live chats for events, or blog posts written by members of the community, and generally speaking, we did that. And it felt really good for the most part. Like within 6 months, we were getting 10 to 15,000 views on average a month, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. As far as generally the writers were concerned, because the site, we had, I think we started September 2013. And we went all the way through the end of the year, and really we were still heavily pushing it up until about February, March, and that 6 to 7 month range, we were getting really good numbers. We were getting views, so we knew that there was something there worth pushing. But what it didn't do is it didn't really create that centralized location. It didn't bring the interaction we were looking for. Obviously we're very into the idea that everyone in the community has a voice and an opinion, and it's worth talking about. So whether it's a discussion of the day, or a full-out blog post, we were really hoping to get those opinions out or get those questions out and start conversations. And sadly, the conversations just weren't starting. We definitely had content I thought worth talking about, but for whatever reason, we just never got the comments. The live shows, the live chats for Raw and Impact and pay-per-views did fairly well. But compared to, the interaction that we get on a one-on-one basis on Twitter at FTW Podcast, and as well as the general interaction that we were able to partake in the Facebook group, it was not really living up to what we wanted. Majority of the people that were joining live chats on Fans Talk Wrestling were from the Facebook group. So, we weren't attracting the people from Twitter. We weren't attracting the people from Google Plus or YouTube. So, so at the end of the day, FansTalkWrestling.com is in this limbo state because, I feel like to really continue to get the views that we were getting and to grow from that, it involves a lot of daily work that, I've got a day job, we've got the podcast, it's not, it's a workload that it's hard to find people that want to volunteer for something like that, because ultimately there's, outside of trying to start the conversations and maybe getting that interaction, there really isn't anything else to get out of it. At 10,000, 15,000 views a month, it's not bringing in any type of ad revenue to pay those who are volunteering or contributing their writing. It definitely wasn't paying anything for the site hosting. The site hosting was still coming out of pocket. It's just a lot of work and a lot of time to be involved in something and to not see the goal or the vision come to fruition. It's hard to continue that. So at the end of the day, I don't want to continue to spend the time that is required to do it. But I still think that there is a void out there that we can fill, and it's just a matter of trying to figure out what that is. So I'm turning to you guys to see what you would like to see. Obviously we were pretty heavy on WWE and TNA stuff. Mark Ventress was writing some stuff for ROH. But for the most part, it was WWE and TNA related. And, realistically, when it comes to blogs and columns, you've got TNA Asylum, TNA Mecca, who were our affiliates. You've also got WrestlingNewsSource.com, who started doing some blogs, WWE related blogs. You've also got Bleach Report. I mean, you can find opinions and blog posts out there. That genre is pretty filled. As far as news stuff, we didn't want to jump into the copy and paste game. That's pretty overdone. As soon as a story breaks, there are about 100 sites within a couple of hours that are all carrying the same story, same copy and paste job, whether it's from PW Insider or the Wrestling Observer or wherever. The wrestling news really wasn't a thing we wanted to get into, and link sharing, things we're reading type of thing. I mean, we did dabble with like what we're reading category, but you've got sites like Reddit and the Squared Circle subreddit on there. That's what it is. You could say the same thing for Facebook, same thing for Google Plus. We don't necessarily need to cite for that per se. The other thing is, as far as getting the communities together into one location, while it sounds awesome, it really doesn't. It's a hard sell. If you're live chatting on Facebook every week, that's where you're comfortable. Same thing for Twitter. If you're just tweeting during Raw or Impact or whatever you're watching, that's where you're comfortable. To try and push people out of their comfort zones is a hard task, and it's a hard sell. So I don't know. I don't think live chats were necessarily working. While we did have a great group of writers, I thought, members of the FCW community, I don't think that. Sorry about that. I don't think that. I don't think it was a good way to start conversations. It definitely got reads, it got views, but it didn't really get the comments that we were wanting. We wanted every conversation started to have a conversation, have like an actual discussion attached to it. So it's kind of disappointing that didn't take place. So so I don't know. So some ideas that have already been thrown at us. We have talked to. I posted a similar in text version of this on in the Facebook group. Some ideas that were posted there was, not limiting it or restricting it to just WWE and TNA or ROH, but reaching out to New Japan, any of the companies out in Mexico, or any other indie company, basically. So I am driving and the camera is getting all bumped and jostled around, so I apologize. So anyways, those are some ideas, and I really like those ideas. If that's something you guys need a central site for to talk about, I think FansTalkWrestlingcom would be perfect for that. Unfortunately, it's just a matter of my interest in that, and I'm one of the major driving forces behind the site, and I'm not into any of those things. So I like the idea of creating a site and creating a place for everyone to talk, but I personally don't know how much I would partake in it. So, but that's just my concern. Maybe this is a good idea. I've looked around and I really haven't seen a site that gets a lot of comments, that talks about New Japan or any of the other indie companies. I mean, you'll see some scattered conversations here and there, but for the most part, that might be a good void for us to fill in. So I don't know. My battery is running out. I'm sure my video is getting all messed up. So post your thoughts in the comments. What would you like to see? What kind of thing would you like or void do you think there is that FansTalkWrestling.com could fill? And that's it. I'm going to leave it there because I'm tired of messing with my phone and trying to drive at the same time. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks.